Good morning, Fillmore. My name is Adrian Robledo with Diamond Realty, and this show today is brought to you by KDTV. And today I'm joined with our special guest here, Mr. Ben Oakley. How you doing this morning, Ben?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So, Ben, here today we're going to be talking about Prop A and B. Is that right?
Measures A and B.
Okay, Measures A and B. Well, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, to get started, my name is Ben Oakley, and I'm the campaign spokesperson for Measures A and B. And I've been working in the California energy industry for over 15 years, and really love California, and I love the oil industry, and just really enjoy the different folks that I get to work with. And I'm on today to talk about Measures A and B and why we think it's not a good idea. We're urging voters to vote no on Measures A and B on June 7th.
Okay. And where are you from, Ben? Are you from Ventura County? Or?
I live here on the Central Coast, just a little bit north of the county.
Okay. Are you there from originally, Central Coast? Or?
I've lived here for about 14 years now, so quite some time.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, go ahead and tell us a little bit about Measures A and B.
Thanks. Well, we're urging voters to vote no on Measures A and B. They are a power grab that gives politicians the ability to shut down our local oil and gas industry. We think this is a bad idea. Right now, families are struggling with record high energy prices. And Measures A and B will only make things worse. Measures A and B are reliant nearly 70% of our oil supply outside of the state of California. And so we're that don't share our high environmental. And so we're urging voters to vote no on Measures A and B, produce our energy here locally, and protect the thousands of jobs and tens of millions of dollars in tax revenues that this industry provides.
Okay, all right, very good. And so I know one thing I wanted to talk to you about is nationally, because you mentioned foreign oil, right? And so I know, Saudi, the United Emirates, they produce a lot of oil out there, and just recently, Iraq has a lot of oil, and I don't know, you're familiar with the war on Kuwait with Iraq?
Back decades ago, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So when they had left, they had made peace, but then Iraq decided to destroy Kuwait's oil fields. And so the United Nations made them, a pact that you need to pay them back, right? And so Iraq just made the last payment in February to the United Nations for Kuwait. And does that right there for future trading with Iraq? Because in my head, I'm thinking, why would they make the last payment if they didn't want to start, opening the borders?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because, right now Measures A and B will make us more reliant on foreign oil. So that includes places like Saudi Arabia. That's where we get a lot of our oil. That includes places not only in the Middle East, but it's places like Ecuador, the Amazon rainforest. I mean, literally, for voters right now, is to either produce the energy locally under our very high environmental standards, or produce it in other places that don't share the same values. So, for example, if we shut down our local industry and our local energy supply, we'll just be more reliant on Amazon rainforest oil. We don't think that's a good idea. We're urging voters to vote no on that.
Okay. Yes. Because personally, I've been following pretty close. Because I'm thinking, wow, Iraq just made the last payment, and we just got out of war with them, and what's going on here?
But again, it proves that greater point that also we're seeing war in Europe, and Russia's a big supplier of oil as well. And so if we don't produce it here locally, we become more dependent on foreign oil, just generally speaking. And so whether that's in the Middle East, whether that's coming from more stable places, still makes us more vulnerable to these foreign events. And we're witnessing right now what it feels like to be vulnerable to what's happening in the world. You're looking at, I think right now, $6 per gallon prices. These are very, very challenging prices for working families. Measures A&B's only making it worse.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so just to remind viewers here, I know when we first started Good Morning Fillmore, we didn't want to get too really political. So today we're just, having a little conversation here from both sides. So we're hearing, Ben and, advocating for the other side. I'm not voicing my political opinion, but I'm just here to give Ben a little challenge.
Fair enough. I expect as much.
Yes. All right. And I know recently too, the Los Angeles Times, came out with an article about hidden oil mining or hidden oil rigs in downtown LA. Admitted no one knew about them. Are you familiar with that?
And not specifically the rigs that you're speaking of. You may be referring to wells, historic wells, perhaps.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but the bottom line is California has very high environmental standards, and those standards are they are upheld by over 2 dozen regulatory agencies. And so, who are we talking about? We're talking about the Air Pollution Control District. We're talking about the state and regional water boards. We're talking about an agency called CalGEM, the California Geologic Energy Management Agency. And these are the agencies and the experts. I mean, they have teams of geologists and engineers who ensure our environmental protection, whether that's air quality, whether that's water quality, or in the case of the wells that you referenced, that's ensuring wellbore integrity, making sure that we clean up historic oil infrastructure. Whatever the case may be, your viewers can rest assured that these are the highest standards in the world. And so we know that measures A and B will actually make us more reliant on oil from places that don't have those same agencies and same standards. So it's not to say that there are no environmental impacts, but this is the best place to produce it if you want to protect the environment.
Okay. Yes. And I know you're from Central Coast, but do you follow the VC Star?
I do.
You do? Okay. So I just saw an article a couple days ago how Patagonia suggested that the people of Ventura vote yes on measures A and B. And what was interesting though that I found in that was a couple paragraphs down is they had mentioned that in most companies are operating with permits from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. And I'm in real estate, so the way they compared it, it's like you know a permit for your house, at that time, needs to be updated, inspected, and checked. So what would you feel on that? Do you feel like the permits back then need to be, do they need to be regulated?
Well, I would agree that that the operations need to meet those high standards, and in fact, they do meet the high standards. Whoever made the statement that existing operations don't meet modern standards is misleading the public because every oil and gas well,
I
every oil and
really do
gas
apologize. I got
tank farm,
a Zoom
and
call that I had to get on,
infrastructure,
so
they are
I'll be off in
subject to
around
those
10,
very high
15
worldwide
minutes.
standards
So
that I
I'll have to
mentioned
do.
earlier. So regardless of
My apologies. Okay?
of when they were permitted,
Okay.
and so folks that are trying to convince voters to vote for measures A and B are really trying to scare people with these tales of historic commitments. The facts are every drop of oil produced in Ventura County is produced under the very highest standards, and so there is no exemptions to regulations by the agencies that I mentioned, CalGEM, the APCE, and the water boards. It's all subject to those very high standards, regardless of who it is. Really, what they're trying to do is shut down the oil and gas industry. They're really not trying to regulate it. They're not trying to protect the environment. They're trying to shut it down. And these are the same folks that have been trying to shut down the industry for years. It's misleading and it's false. and we're urging voters to reject those permits.
Okay. Yeah. And so, well, good that you clarified that for all of us. And I see that now, looking at it, they put it in construction terms of the following construction codes would have been written, to compliance in the 1930s. So that's how they worded that.
Yeah, I mean, but as I said, regardless of when they were permitted, as regulations evolve over time, those operations are then subject to those revised regulations. And so again, it's trying to mislead voters into thinking that these operations are unregulated or there's no protections in place. That's absolutely categorically false.
Okay. So do those permits expire? Like, do you have to keep renewing them, or?
No, it's to your example of real estate. A house gets permitted, you don't have to go back and re-permit uh, the same house to continue to exist. So once that permit is issued, they have a vested operations, those are vested permits.
Okay. And so I guess it was built back then. Are they somewhat grandfathered in like the building codes at that era?
Well, no, I mean it's as I explained, as the environmental regulations over time got better and more stronger and more stringent, operations have to adhere to those standards.
Okay.
Right? So regardless of when they are drilled, I'll give you an example. The Air Pollution Control District, if they have a rule that will further protect, for air quality, that's applied to all the operations. There's no grandfather law. It applies across the boards, and all the operations have to meet those control requirements.
Okay.
And that's just one example of dozens.
Right. Well, that's definitely good to hear. It's the same for homes too, right? If it don't fit now, you gotta retrofit it. Okay. And so I know you had it going. Yeah, it sounds like they're really, putting people under the impression that we're gonna see more pollution. We're not gonna have clean beaches, um, but we're still gonna have jobs.
Well, as I said before, it's a misleading campaign to influence voters. What it will do is will shut down the industry, and that's what they want it to do. These are the same folks that have been trying to shut down the industry for years, and now all of a sudden they're trying to convince people that this won't affect the industry. This doesn't shut anything down. Well, that's precisely what it will do. That's the very intent, and it absolutely will threaten the 2,000 folks working for the industry. I mean, those aren't just numbers. Those are actual people. Those are families. Those are local families that are employed in the oil and gas industry, and many of whom, have very diverse backgrounds, and it provides an opportunity for folks with all sorts of educational backgrounds to get a foot in the door in an industry where they can make a good living with benefits and provide for a family. And so those are precisely the types of jobs that this county most desperately needs. It will shut those down, does not offer any environmental protections. If you read the text of the measures, there are no additional environmental protections afforded by these measures. They simply give politicians the ability to shut down operations, and that's precisely what they want to do.
Okay, awesome. And Ben, I just remembering that we didn't even mention your office, where you're from.
Yeah, I live in Arroyo Grande, like I said, a couple hours to the north, right here on the Central Coast. I've been working in the coast oil and gas industry in several counties here on the coast for over a decade. And my background is in environmental science and natural resource management. So I come to this role with many years of experience managing those environmental programs, air quality programs, water quality programs. That's precisely what I did for a living for many, many years.
Okay. And the company you're with was what again? I'm sorry.
I'm with the Western States Petroleum Association, and I'm serving as a campaign spokesperson for the No on Measures A and B campaign.
Awesome. Alrighty, Ben. Well, is there anything else you want to leave off on? Actually, let me throw another one at you because this seemed to throw off the United States when this came out, and it seemed when I visited Ohio, Pennsylvania, it seemed to really affect them, which was fracking.
Yeah, we hear about that. The facts are it's not occurring in Ventura County, and as I said before, that's really more of a distraction from the Measures A and B, which will be a shutdown of the local industry. And so, regardless, it's better to produce our oil here locally and become more reliant on foreign oil that don't uphold our high standards.
Awesome, Ben. If there's anything else that you want to say, feel free. Now's your time. You get your air time to say what you want, and we're going to go ahead and leave off on those notes. If you have any questions,
I would just leave with, we're urging voters to stop the energy shutdown. Right now the U.S. is withdrawing over 1 million barrels a day from our emergency petroleum reserve. Think about that. That is the largest drawdown of our emergency reserve in the history of this country. And Measures A and B will only make things worse. We urge voters to vote no on that.
Awesome, Ben. Well, thank you for your time. And again, if you have any other questions for us here, let us know. If you want to come back, let us know. We'll be happy to have you guys here. And, also you want to give your contact information for people who want to get in contact with you, maybe just want to pick your brain a little more.
Yeah, I would refer you to the campaign website, but I would refer folks that want to get more information on Measures A and B to go to our website, stopmeasuresAandB spelled out .com. So stopmeasuresAandB.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for your Ben, thank you again for your Ben. Thank you, Ben, for coming on the show. And people just go ahead and go on the website, and I hope this gives you a little more clarity on what's going on with Measures A and B, and just really hope you gain your own knowledge on both ends and just come with your own decision. And have a great day.
Thank you, Adrian. Thanks for having me on. Much appreciated.
Of course, not a problem. Thank you again, and feel free to watch our previous episodes on kdtv.com and our YouTube channel, kd.tv. Thank you, guys.